I heard so much about you guys, man.
Yeah?
It's very nice to meet you all. Or see you again. Yeah. And then, because I did...
Dropouts?
Oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm like 8 hours, and this is my first thing I'm eating today, so I didn't mean to not remember that. They were so cool. And they sung your praises. They said you're the best people.
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah, thanks.
And they said, definitely do it. I was like, I am doing it. Actually, I tried to reach out. I don't know what. I couldn't get in touch with you guys for a minute.
Call him out.
Wait, no. I'm really bad at emails. Wait, when did you try to reach out?
I had my publicist reach out 3 times.
No way. I'm so sorry. No, I usually catch that.
No, there's no apology. No, believe me, I get it.
No, I'm tired of these guys.
No, Zane's my team is fired.
No, really, I'm usually pretty good, right? Every time we get somebody, I hit you guys up immediately. Oh my, I don't know where that went.
All good, because I even knew that you guys wanted, because my dad, months ago, told me, my friend's daughter, they would love you to come on, and I said, where are they? And he said, you're out here, and I was like, well, when I go out there, I'll reach out. You know, my dad's co-signed you. You know,
Matt is so confused right now.
Yeah, what's the connection between?
Okay, should we roll the intro?
Let's roll the intro.
All right, let's roll.
We didn't start yet.
Well, we did.
It was like a little intro. It was like a little intro.
Gotta tease him a bit.
It's coffee time, baby. Let's go.
We're just kind of dance.
Just feel the vibe. Little party.
Good energy.
All right.
Welcome back to Zane and Heath Unfiltered, baby. I'm Zane.
I'm Heath.
I'm Matt.
I'm Mariah.
And today we have a very, very special guest. We have Sal Vulcano here with us today.
Yeah.
Sal in the house.
I feel your energy, man.
Oh, good.
No, thank you. What was? I feel it.
Turn it on.
You got me buzzing.
So the backstory. Mariah's dad is best friends with Sal's dad.
No way.
Yeah, he's one of his dearest, oldest best friends.
They work together.
Our dads worked together, New York Sanitation, for many, many years. Sal's sister used to babysit me.
Have you said this before?
Okay.
Briefly, I was just like, we have a connection, but I haven't gotten.
I think it must have been on an episode, Matt. You weren't on it because I think it was like Zach and Jared were here, and that may have been when you were out of town.
Okay.
Yeah, so you missed that one.
Isn't that crazy? What a small world.
Small world indeed.
And I will say, this is crazy, but one of my earliest memories of my entire life, I think I was 3. You know how you see pictures and videos of yourself as a kid? You can't tell if it's like a memory or if you just saw pictures. I have no pictures and videos of this. It's my earliest memory of your dad teaching me how to do this.
Oh, that's his signature move. I saw him do that 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Still does it?
So it's not
nephew.
like a fake memory. It's an actual...
Right.
For the people listening, it's the classic,
He's like, your finger's coming off.
Yeah.
Watch the video.
Scarred you for life.
I lived with him. I was like, this guy's pulling fingers off.
Good morning.
I will say, when I was on the dropouts, they said, oh, you got to go on the, and I said, I am. And they said, is it true that you babysat Mariah? And I just was like, oh, I was like, I don't...
I'm not quite the babysitter.
I said, but I could be wrong. So I'm not. If she said that, then I probably did. But I don't remember, and I felt so guilty.
Yeah, I don't remember your sister babysitting me, but
I may have actually fucked that up. I think I said that he babysat you on the podcast, and I don't think anybody ever corrected me.
All of it's wrong. She
babysat
me.
Yeah, right.
Did you have babysitters as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah? You still remember them all?
Yeah, I remember a bunch of them. Sure. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite one?
Were they hot?
Let me think of them in my head. No. Yes, twins.
Ooh, twins.
At the same time.
Not at the same time. And then
took turns.
I guess that's all I'm calling up right now.
Was babysitting back then where because I feel like
it was safe. Now you have to worry.
Yeah, now you have to worry, and I feel like it's really expensive now too. Like you can't just get a babysitter. Not anyone can afford that.
Once they put an app on something, prices skyrocket.
Okay, because I feel like back then it was everybody had a babysitter.
Oh yeah, everybody, and it wouldn't. I don't even think the barrier to entry was that big. I feel like if you were 11, you could babysit.
I was 11.
Yeah.
I was babysitting, and when I first started babysitting at 11 or 12, I was watching like 4 kids under the age of 5. I'm like, yeah, I can do it. But my mom said I wasn't allowed to take the money until I was 16. She was like, "You're doing it for the goodness in your heart." I'm like, "All right."
So collect interest?
Yeah.
No, your parents were pocketing the money. Yeah, we'll give it to her.
Our daughter costs $5 an hour.
No, your mom would be like, "It's going straight to Jesus."
Yeah, that's going to the church.
We're taking it
Sunday
to church.
Mass. You're putting that in the basket.
The basket's coming around. You're like,
I do that thing, when someone makes believe they're gonna also chip in for the bill. When the basket's coming, I'm like,
Yeah. No.
Yeah, they need an Apple Pay. Just like then I'd really do it.
I guarantee you that's coming. Right? It's genius, actually.
The church I went to, they're actually nice about it. They just sent the baskets down the row, so you just send the basket down the row, so nobody's really watching you. Like,
but if you had your phone, I would just try to be like, just showing off this screen, like doing 20 this time, because like people can tell how much cash you're throwing in. You're eyeballing it.
It's a mystery on the phone.
Exactly.
Some people throw it in an envelope though, and they leave it anonymous.
Well, that's good. That means you have a GoodHeart.
Yeah,
that's good.
Are you an anonymous giver? I feel like I.
Oh,
I'm
like
anonymous
if your
giver.
friend is like having like a GoFundMe for like one of their friends,
And then they public their name to show how much they get. Like it's kind of like
It'll be the biggest amount too. They'll put $500 and name is on the.
Yeah.
I've only ever done anonymous,
Yeah, me too.
and I give a lot.
That's good. That's good.
So let this be known that if you see a really nice anonymous, it most likely was me.
It's good.
It's so funny because like we've seen your dad so much recently. We've been to so
he
many
was at
weddings.
my sister's wedding.
He went to a wedding very recently.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we went to a wedding and he was sitting with
so
my
that was the
parents.
one. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and he said, "Come here. Tell your friend to contact Sal back because he hasn't heard back from anybody." All right? I was like, "Okay."
I went the extra step because I didn't want to let you guys down. Like I knew that like we had this connection, and I knew that you guys had asked me a while back, and I'm not going to get here often, so everything aligned.
Yeah.
And so when the publicist didn't hear back, I went to my dad and I told him to contact your dad.
Yeah, he
To
did.
go through that way.
My
Still
dad-
didn't hear anything.
Sometimes you
but
got to put it in the dad's hands.
I truly, after that conversation that you told us that you had, I didn't think it like really got anywhere. I'm so surprised that you've contacted us 3 times.
Forget it. No, our fathers are so embarrassing, right? No.
It's really funny because her dad was sharing stories. I'm sure you know, but he was talking about like your dad during like the sanitation days.
Oh boy.
And it was so funny because I guess he was known as "Don't Get Me Dirty, Sal."
Never heard that in my life.
Apparently, he was like,
don't get me dirty.
yeah, and he was like, didn't want to get dirty, didn't want to touch the trash or anything like that.
The
And he was
apple
just
doesn't
always,
fall far.
always spotless.
Yeah.
And he said, your dad, instead of like riding on the back and like tossing the trash in, he would pick up homeless people on the street and give them cash.
Yeah.
To ride
He
on
said
the
that? He
back
did
and
do
then
that.
throw it over. And her
And
dad.
then he would give the homeless guys his Christmas bonus.
Every time he would get a Christmas bonus, he would go back and find them, and he would
I've
give
seen him
them
do it.
all the
anonymously.
cash.
Anonymously.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool. Like,
yeah, as a little kid, maybe not garbage, but when it snowed and you had to do the salt trucks, sometimes it was like late at night or earlier. And I don't really think they paid too much attention to the salt trucks, because it wasn't a common. And it's probably completely illegal, but I used to go with him to work. And I used to see all that. And I've seen him interact with people giving money and anybody of any type of older age. He never made them put their garbage out. He would go into their yard all the way and then come back.
Right.
And get it. Good dude, my
He's a
dad.
very,
Above and
very sweet
beyond.
guy.
Yeah, he's the best.
It's so crazy that sanitation was such a respected job back then.
Yeah.
Like if you had it,
especially in New
is.
York. Like,
it still is now.
yeah, I can't get
No,
sanitation.
you know
I have mad
what?
respect for anybody who.
No, I'm
No.
not saying
It
we
needs
don't-
more
I'm saying
respect.
Just a respectable job.
Right,
that
it probably
people
goes
see.
like fireman, cop. If you're thinking of the city
Right.
jobs,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But the new generation coming up, when they hear garbage man, this is what happens. My 8-year-old cousin, my dad was going to work and he goes, "Where are you going?" And he said, "Oh, I'm going to work." He thought it'd be cool to tell an 8-year-old kid, like, I drive a dump truck.
Yeah.
kids would be like, trucks are cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I drive a truck. You know what he said back? "Oh, so you didn't go to college?"
Oh.
8 years old said that.
That is cold.
What in the world?
Wow.
And what do you say when it's true? You're like,
You're like,
only if it's not true.
crazy.
kids know too much.
That
nowadays.
assumption is also that there is not one college-educated sanitation worker. It's pretty broad. He's also a little wrong there.
so
What
funny.
did you want to be when you were a kid?
Comedian.
A comedian?
Yeah.
Already, like 6 years old, you wanted to be a
Yeah,
comedian.
yeah.
Wow.
Congrats on the special, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Terrified?
Phenomenal.
Right?
Yes.
Yes,
Where's
yes.
it on?
It's on YouTube.
Badass.
On 800 Pound Gorilla, which is a social stand-up comedy channel, but just Sal Vulcano Terrified, you'll find it.
Yep.
Yeah, it just came out. My first full-length special like this. So
Wow.
a
How
long
nervous
time
were
coming.
you? That's a huge accomplishment. Like, this is the first one. Were you like, obviously pumped?
So
but
nervous to film it or nervous to release it?
Release.
Release it. Yeah, there's anxiety there. Right, it comes with nerves,
Right.
It's not so much like it's a lot of different things banging on at once. Like it's like, okay, I felt the only barometer of what I could think is funny, I have to go through my own filter, and I felt it was funny.
Yeah.
You know, I worked on it so hard, you know, and I meticulously, and I really poured everything into it, and I wouldn't put it out if I thought that it was short somewhere. So to me, I was like, I feel like I have something good. I have no idea how anyone else is going to react.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, I'm educating a lot of people that I am a stand-up because there's so many people know me from this.
Right.
And so there's, you know, I have people that follow me, but people beyond that have no idea. And I could never bring them in because I didn't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a big thing. So like, there's a lot like going on here. Look at this. You know, and then also like, that's it. Like you never say those jokes ever again. So it's like, it's retiring them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a farewell, but like you go out with a bang.
Yeah.
What city did you shoot?
Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Any reason for Chicago? Did you have like a connection where that was like you've had shows in the past? You're like, I always love their energy, or
Yeah, they're a well-known crowd, and it was really theater-based. I wanted a venue that was a theater but played like a club. There's a few of those in the country. The Wilbur in Boston's like that. The Vic is where I shot mine in Chicago, and it's like, you know, there's balconies and everything, but they're right on top of you. Dual music venue, you know, so it's, you know, comedy, you got to be in close quarters for it to be the best. So it's like they came out too. The one thing I was worried about is like, I want this special that I'm finally putting on tape to be at least representative of some of the best crowds I've ever had. Yeah. Like if I'm showing you it, I want to show you the best experience I have with it. So you do wonder, because on any given day you get a dud crowd. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Not that it would be a dud special, but in my mind, knowing when I do my best versus this is fine for everybody else, you know, you want to get that. And so that was the nerves going into it. And they showed up, man. I think they were two of the best crowds I've ever
Good.
had.
That's great.
Audience is
couldn't
huge.
ask some more
did you
there.
do 2 nights and then just kind of mash it all into one? Or okay, that's how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ari Shaffir produced it, or what?
Executive produced it.
Oh, so how does that work? What, he gives you money to help like make it happen, or does he have a say in any of it?
Yeah, no. I self-produced it.
Okay.
I have a production company I started. I put up the money. I had a partner in my promoter. Shout out to Outback.
Steakhouse.
The steakhouse.
No, not Steakhouse.
Oh my! I was like, Outback.
Yes.
That's sick.
They get into Santa. Oh my.
No, I mean like a live events promoter. Outback Presents, they're called. That's so funny. I should have just went with Outback.
And they'd have been down for it too.
Yeah.
I love that. By the way, I love that it's on YouTube. So like, it's so easy, especially when you're like doing PR runs. Everyone can just like go quickly to the YouTube special.
Share it.
It's one of the biggest benefits, as you guys probably know. It's instant access.
Yeah.
It's free.
Right.
There's no like. What I want from this is the most possible people to see it.
Yeah.
This has been proven now. This is this is really one of the top players in stand-up comedy. Like we get stats on all this stuff, and like last year the top 50 most watched stand-up comedy specials, one on Amazon. I think it was like 38 on Netflix, and whatever the rest of the math is, it was on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, YouTube's good. There's no barrier to entry. Like, it's accessible to everybody, which is so good. There's no like paywall or anything to
click it and they're
people
watching anywhere, right?
Right.
And that is Netflix includes all the like Chappelle's and the Burrs, and so if you take all those out, which are and you compare it to just like the same type, it's just as good a platform.
Yeah.
Right. That's so sick.
I love the typography on it. It's like an old school
It's
like
giving, like,
horror.
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
Goosebumps.
Absolutely. Like so when I conceived this, I didn't just want to do random jokes. I kind of wanted to have something cohesive that had a beginning, middle, end that was like can be looked at as a whole.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was. I had like all my material for over the years, and I just sat with it, and I started to just try to find where the connections were, because when I go on the road, it's like I'll just plug and play anything I want. I go by the crowd, or it's never like from beginning to end. I didn't even know if I had it within all that, but then I started finding connections that a lot of my stories had some fear-based stuff in it. Mm-hmm. And something clicked one day. Also, my personality and my character it was an exaggeration of my real personality, but I am a little bit,
a scaredy cat,
terrified.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that really resonates. Also, it's like an interesting name, Terrified. And then I was driving with my buddy on the road, and we came up with the idea to take the inspiration from the old horror pop movie posters from like the 60s. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man. And so we brought all those up, and we just started getting ideas from it. And we lifted the font directly from that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And then the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the aesthetic, the colorway on the poster is what my backdrop was. And so it's just a subtle nod to it. No one knows, but we know. And so it just kind of like harkens to that poster and that kind of thing, you know.
It's really eye catching, and then the grain really ties it all in together. It's like such a pretty thumbnail.
Thank you. Yeah, the grain was a choice too. Thanks guys.
Of course.
Before we continue, we want to give a big thank you to our sponsor of this podcast, BetterHelp.
Heath, this year has gone so quickly, baby. What's something you're proud of in 2024 so far?
Baby, this show.
And what's something you still want to accomplish this year?
Fixing my mental health.
Exactly. When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year by going to therapy.
Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months.
Exactly. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
And it is so simple. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
My favorite part about BetterHelp is that you could do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to drive anywhere, sit in traffic, get more frustrated than you already feel that you are.
Yeah, and I just don't want to be sitting in a waiting room waiting for a therapist to come like see me. I don't want to have to sit around people. I don't want to have to be in this like cold space that like I don't really know. You know, I'm not comfortable there. I want to be in the comfort of my own home. That's where I'd like to take my me time.
And they make you read old magazines.
Yeah, no. You know what I want to be doing while I'm talking about that? I want to have a face mask on. I want to be eating popcorn, you know, because I want to hear the good tea, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be in the comfort of my own home. I want to have my jammies on. I want to have my hair slicked back
in a
bun. I want to be in a blankie.
Yup.
And that's why I love BetterHelp.
So if you're ready to get started and take a moment for yourself, all you have to do is visit betterhelp.com/Zane and Heath today, and you're going to get 10% off your first month.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Zane and Heath.
Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast, helping us and helping everybody watching.
Also, you have a new season coming out of Impractical Jokers, right?
It's wild. Yeah, we just signed for 2 more.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
What season are you on
11,
right now?
Right now, we're filming season 11, which will begin we're on TBS now, so that's cool.
That's sick.
July 11th starts season 11.
Very
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
And you guys like started it in 2011, 2010?
2011 is when the show began to air.
And now I think I heard this on another podcast that you said you opened and started a bar and you were like a bartender at your own bar. At the same time, was it this show that was on TV and you were serving at your own bar while that is playing on the TVs in the background?
No way.
How did that? Yeah, you started a
terrible.
bar.
It's terrible. You know, so I have a degree in finance, and when I got out of school for 4 years, I worked at Prudential Securities. It was never really for me. I worked with some really cool people, like old people my age, made some good friends and stuff, but I knew I wasn't going to stay there. And so I left and I started bartending because I wanted a flexible schedule for comedy.
Yeah.
And as I'm bartending for all those years too, I'm also like, let me really learn this business because I have to have plan A, plan B, all that stuff. This wasn't planned, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, I have to have plan A and that's plan B. You know?
Yeah.
But I learned the business, and then like after like 9 years at this place, I took a leap with a couple of friends and I bought a bar, and 1 month later, I got the television show.
Oh, shit. So crazy.
And now, you know, when I poured most of my life savings into the bar.
Yeah.
And when you start a business, I mean, you have to be there 24/7. There's no getting around that. Likewise with the show, it requires full dedication if you want it to succeed. And so I was in a scenario where I had to do that for both. And it wasn't until season 3 that I felt comfortable enough to say, I'll sell my share of the bar and I will become an entertainer full time.
Yeah.
And so for 2 years-ish, I would film from like 8 to 5 and then go to the bar from like 7 to 4.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah,
Gosh.
4 days a week, not 7, but it took a toll. Yeah, it took a toll.
I would imagine.
But I
Were
wouldn't change
people
anything.
sitting there like looking at you ordering and then looking up at the TV and kind of doing one of those?
It was on because of my friends and the staff, and they made me put it on.
Yeah,
it's also such a unique experience. I'm working with them for a decade, and now I'm on TV. It's like it's just wild. I would have asked the person to put it on, but it's also like I'm on TV, and people are like, bro, where's my Shirley Temple? It's like, yes, sir. And I'm extra cherries, and it's like, so it just felt like kind of weird. That's you? All right. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. I'm like, I know it isn't. That would be weird if you did. It's like, people don't know how to react to, I don't like watching myself, even just alone. I won't watch myself with other people. I focus on things I don't like. I really am a shy person, save for when I am performing, so that whole scenario wasn't ideal for me at all.
But like editing your own special though, were you like in the editing room making sure it's all good, or you like, I trust you, just put it out?
No, I got to shout out, my editor was Dan Cotter, this guy, and God bless him. So what happens is I got a file of all of these shows.
Okay.
And then I watched them down, and I decided the moments that I wanted to take or the jokes from each one, and then down to the like 100th of a second of the time code. I would tell him where to cut, because it's all about time, And I mean, even if like I tried to do as much work on my end, because he's just going to take all my notes and apply them. I don't have the skills,
Yeah.
So I have to make it as clear, and I mean, the better I give, the better document I give him, the better it's gonna. I don't want to leave things like uninterpreted. So I tried really hard, like even if I'm turning and I wanted to cut from one show to another, like to like find the thing where my hand is here too.
Just the continuity.
Yeah. And this dude like just killed it. He everything I could ask of him more. He designed the title card, and that's not even his job. He just went above and beyond.
Shout out to Dan, man. Yeah,
Dan, and
Dan's the
every
man.
time I thought I'd go back with him, because you got to like, it's like, no, because it's like, let's try it this way. And then I watch, I'm like, let's try it this way.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, can we go back to the other way, but then cut that out? Because you have to mold it. You know what I mean? I could cut 10 different shows with the same material. Editing is insane, as you probably guys know. You know what I mean? Or
It's Mariah. She does all the editing.
Yeah.
I always feel terrible just over the editor, like every time telling him to, you know what, go back. Actually, can you? I feel like the editor wants to kill me, and it's so hard to like talk to them.
Every project you guys do, especially Zane will go to the editor and he'll be like, "Can you just send it to us? Like, we'll just do it."
He has a vision.
It's hard to explain. We can just do it. Yeah.
We're really good at cutting and shit, but like when it comes to like graphics and like CG or like green screen stuff, go right back to the editor.
Yeah,
but we love to do just like the cutting. The cutting is so important.
We're good at comedic timing, so we get that.
Absolutely,
It's very important. It changes everything.
Exactly right. And you could make something out of nothing,
or
you could fuck something up,
exactly.
I'm used to it. I edit our show. We all edit the Jokers show.
Oh, really?
So I've edited hundreds of, so I
that's good.
I have a rhythm, and I put it up on a document, and he would just check it off when it was done, or give me feedback if he disagreed or had another idea. He was very collaborative, and I'm like you. Like every time I asked him something that was like a second time, I would always lead off with like, "Hey." At your own.
Why are we like that?
It's like whenever it's convenient for you. Would it be possible if you could? And then like it's no worries if
No
not.
rush.
No worries. Don't worry about it.
No rush.
Like $100 tip, you could just feel bad, just like here, just can you switch
And
that?
I'm paying him.
Yeah, right.
And I've always wondered, like, behind the scenes of like just TV shows in general. Like, you film it, you edit it. What's the process of it from getting to your guys' computer to like it?
How do you
aired?
upload onto TV?
Yeah, like, how do you upload on TV? I always wanted to
so
know
interesting.
the answer to that.
Yeah, we don't even do that. That gets shipped out. So it goes to like the distributor. There's they do that. They distribute it to whatever channel. It's like a finishing process. So that process is kind of beyond my scope, actually.
That's
But we give it to them ready, and then they do whatever they have to do to go through the motions of delivering it and maybe stamping it with certain things. I really don't know.
Got it.
But with us, they'll send us a string out of whatever we shot. And we usually have like 3 rounds. It'll be an internal rough cut, which means nobody's seeing it but us. We go from there to a rough cut, and that's what we send to the network. And then we go from there to a fine cut, and then from there to a picture lock. So we usually have 4 rounds when we're editing something.
And when it comes down to it being aired, they still have final approval, right? Because it's on their network.
We don't deal with that now anymore, thankfully. You know what I mean? Like, because since we've been there, the whole entire regime has changed 4 to 5 times. And now we're there 13 years. So we're there. Like, someone's not going to really come in now and be like, no. Like, you know, whatever exec is assigned to our show. And it's working already. Like, they just want to be part of the team. So we don't really encounter that. If we have an idea that's a little whatever, it's usually like we have to argue with insurance or standards and practices. Not really them. And if we ever did, it's a give and take, but it doesn't happen often. I mean, really right now, I mean, it's the coolest thing because we get to, in the beginning, we had no creative control. Zero. If the guy didn't like it, he cut it out. He had no mercy for anything. He didn't understand how the show was made. And he would have us put 5 to 6 bits in a half-hour episode. Just to give you, we do 3 now. Right. So imagine all of the stuff, half the time, it's just like, it was like erratic. And it was like, and then we had to shoot 6 bits. We shoot 1 bit a day, unless we're doing a double. So we have to, there's so much more to do one episode. But it also didn't allow for anything that wasn't a quick hit joke. Right. And like, we want to live in a space with these people. That's where the magic is. Like, you know, we want to improvise and we want a scene to play out for 2-3 minutes. And so in the beginning, we didn't have that. And we had to listen to them. And then that person left, and the next people had a little more leniency, and then we started to become a hit. And with success, we got a little bit more creative control, and so on and so forth.
So what's that creative process, though, as the group of Impractical Jokers, these new 2 seasons coming out, and you guys coming up with pranks and bits? Is this just like y'all got a group chat, and you're like, yo, what if we did this for that? Or do you have a team of people that's just pumping out ideas, and then you go into a room, and they're pitching you ideas, and you guys work off that? Where do like the pranks come from? Absolutely. How are they birthed?
Absolutely. So in just a general sense, just on like I'm sure you guys, if I have an idea, I'm writing it down. That's just from me, and just because I don't want to forget it. So I'm always thinking.
On Notes app?
Notes app. Yeah, because like anything is usable. So all my experiences are usable.
Everything's copy. Yeah.
And just the same thing with joke writing. So I'm always being observant. So in that respect, you know, I'm sure we'll jot stuff down. But no, it's a whole... We have 60, 70-person crew. We have offices. We have a writer's room. We have locations producers, executive producers. We have we have a full staff.
Does the filming process take longer as the seasons go on because you get more recognized?
We had none of that in season 1. Right. And then in season 2 it started. And it got whatever. But as long as we're filming in densely populated areas, if we're filming in public and we're in New York, it is what it is. It might take a little longer than it did, but at this point, we can write a book on how to make this thing. You know, like we've gotten more and more efficient and learn more. When we got this show, we had no idea not only how to make this show, how to make a show. Like I didn't have anything like that beforehand. Yeah. And to tell you, like there was maybe 6 employees, maybe. Like it was like 1 editor, no writers. The first season, I think we were only, and then the second season we got 2, but. We did everything, and we sat down with the editor at that time, and we didn't even have an office. We sat in the lobby of the waiting area of the offices of the production company, and we didn't have a desk. We sat like this, and we just sat there like all day long with our laptops on our laps, and that's how we wrote the entire first season, just in a public space. Yeah, I never talked about that, but like, it's crazy.
Wow.
Right?
It's crazy. You have this image that like is even first season, like, oh, they're in this big fancy room coming up with these ideas and editing it and pushing it out, but it's like,
well, on a much smaller scale, we can relate because you're looking at the team. This is it.
This is season 1 right here.
We're in season 5. We still have nobody. We're not.
We have no sense of what's going on.
If you look up plateau in the dictionary, it says Zane and Heath Unfiltered. Plateau.
You guys are crazy, man. You guys are so popular. That's amazing.
Hey, Sal, how do you find like a team? How do you do that?
How do you go about the hiring process of making something bigger and better?
In the beginning, I was calling the locations like a cold call, like, "Hey, hear me out. I have a show. I'm a decent guy.
Oh my!
Can I come to your pharmacy?" Like we were making those calls, which is insane. That's a whole profession and department.
And it was like 99% of the time. It had to be 99% of the time.
Yeah,
right?
well, Yes and no.
They're
yes
like,
and no.
what's the show?
Wasn't 99.
It's not out yet. This is season 1. We're trying.
You're gonna know it.
Now that sounds like a nightmare for businesses. I feel like because
I feel like
your
they'd be
team makes
excited
it.
now.
Yeah,
They're like,
now
oh my God,
it's-
yeah, we
now
would
they're
love to
excited.
Two
have
ends
it.
of the spectrum. It's hell yes, we're fans, or we love the publicity, and it's like don't come near us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
But you guys all started like the OG like moment of you guys as a group was an improvisational group like in high school, right?
Yeah, we
you went
met.
to an all boys
Catholic high school.
school. You had an improv group at the high school.
Yeah, well, there was improv as an extracurricular.
Okay.
It wasn't like a troupe. It was like whoever wanted to, and we would put on at the end of the season a show with like the female.
The sister school?
sister school, yeah.
yeah.
And
so it
so-
was a bit of a mixer, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a mixer.
Yeah.
It was nice if parents came, but it was like 30 people. You know,
Was it clean cut? Like it has to be
Yeah.
good with the church?
It was
Like,
clean cut. No, not that they, but we didn't get dirty. It sucked. Looking back on it, it's terrible. As a kid's trying, it's really entertaining. Back then, you feel like, oh, this is amazing. But it was just short form. Once I left and I went to college, I started doing some stand up. I started doing improv long form, which is like it's the same thing. It's a different muscle. It's just like exactly what I said about the show. It's the difference between quick hit jokes
Right.
to literally building out a scene and having a beginning, middle, and end and have it be cohesive. All of us working on something to make something that works without knowing what we're going to say. Like
And it lives in that one moment.
It's
Yeah.
so intriguing to me. You know what I mean? It's just the same thing like being on stage telling jokes if you just like let it fly,
Yeah.
But it's good because it's like it's really collaborative. Like you cannot succeed unless you have the exact same help you're giving and receiving. And when you do all are on the same page at something like that, like the result, sometimes it's literally magical because the audience knows they're watching it being made up on the spot. So there's that extra electricity already.
Yeah.
And if you do well, and so I love doing that. And we all happened to be doing that. We came back from college, and so we were like, want to try it together. And
That's
it was
so
like 99.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and we just go to Joe Gatto's mom's basement, and we would do 3 nights a week. We would
Doing the shows in the basement?
we would just rehearse with each other.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I've said this many times, but it's not to your audience, but yeah, we would film the shows on a tripod, like an old camcorder.
Yeah.
And then we do like maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours, and then we would immediately watch the footage and like
Brutal.
critique it.
Wow.
And because when you watch yourself and watching, you're picking up so much more, and so much more immediately is resonating in your head. I didn't like that physicality. I could have made a better choice there. Not that you would have thought of it in the moment, but then that is in the back of your mind. And then you start to just like, you have to, it's a tool, you have to try to build a skill set. And so we'd watch it like football players watch tape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we did that for probably about 6 months before our first show.
Wow. And it was all healthy, all constructive. You guys like
It
myself
was
apart.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And our first show was March 4th, 2000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old autobiographical memory right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
I'll
never
never forget
forget
it.
the date, of course.
Absolutely.
And how'd that first show go? Did you nail it? Did you get a good laugh? Or
It was a lot of friends and family, so I think it did well in that respect. I would be horrified if you saw it right now. Horrified. Also, in the middle, we taped the first show. There was 2 shows, and it was so when we let the first show out, we came out of the theater. It was like a black box theater in Manhattan, in like Hell's Kitchen, and someone came in off the street, went upstairs, stole the camcorder.
sold the game.
Wow.
You didn't get it.
And we got back up there, it was gone. And then someone's like, I saw someone just walk out. And everybody, friends and family, just filtered into the streets. And we all split up running every way to find someone with a camcorder. And we couldn't find it. And so that first show is either destroyed or someone has it.
Somebody's just sitting on it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Damn.
just waiting for the day.
Would you buy it back? How much would you pay?
Part of me wants to be like, I want to see it and I want to have it. And part of me wants to be like, I don't need to see that.
Before we continue, we want to give a big thank you to our next sponsor of this podcast, HelloFresh.
HelloFresh, welcome back,
How
baby.
we doing?
If you guys don't know what HelloFresh is a food delivery service where you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit, baby.
That's right, baby. Wake up those taste buds and get summer ready with balanced, fit, and wholesome recipes, chock full of fresh produce, and under 650 calories per serving.
Ooh, perfect for someone like me that's trying to cut down on, the calories and stuff. But what I can also do is cut down on time spent in the kitchen so you can get back to enjoying the summer sunshine thanks to HelloFresh's quick and easy recipes.
Okay.
Every week's menu features options that are ready in just 20 minutes or less. That's even quicker than delivery.
And say you got those little pesky kids at home, little picky eaters. HelloFresh's line of kid-friendly recipes are picky eater-proof and perfect for families looking to shake up their dinner recipe rotation while school's out for the summer.
Ooh, that's new, HelloFresh. And if you're heading out for vacation, just update your delivery address and enjoy easy HelloFresh meals at your vacation destination. Bahamas, what?
Okay.
Plans are flexible, so they work with your changing schedule.
And make sure to check out their limited-time seasonal recipes from HelloFresh's Taste of Summer series, like Old Bay shrimp and sausage, or grilled steak lettuce wraps, plus so much more.
And HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients help reduce food waste by up to 45% compared to grocery shopping.
I second that. Every time I try to cook something from scratch, you're buying in bulk. You got so many extra ingredients that end up just going back into the fridge.
No, you see mine, it's just in the trash. You waste so much food.
It goes back in the fridge until it goes in the trash.
Exactly.
I never get around to it, but with HelloFresh, you get exactly what you need for that specific meal. There's nothing extra, and it's just nothing's going to waste. You get what you're cooking, and that's the best feeling in the world.
It feels really good knowing that everything you're cooking in the kitchen for dinner that night is being put into your body.
Yep.
Because it's like perfect portion size of what you should be eating. And it just makes you feel good. Makes you feel good that you're not just wasting.
Yep.
So when you sign up today, you'll unlock free appetizers for life.
What?
Get the party started or enjoy a little pre-dinner treat with an appetizer of your choice in every HelloFresh box for free.
And baby, we love free. So make sure to go to HelloFresh.com/unfilteredapps for free appetizer for life. One appetizer item per box while subscription is active.
That's free appetizers for life at HelloFresh.com/unfilteredapps.
Thank you so much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this podcast and being America's #1 meal kit, baby. We love you.
Has there been an Impractical Jokers like documentary, like the making of the band of you guys?
That would be really interesting
really
to
cool,
watch. I'd watch that.
You know, in season 1 or 2, whatever they did, we started doing on the road, and we took a bus. So we doing
like BTS,
a bus tour, like to all of our gigs and on the road.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Do you want to film this as a special?" And so a film crew came with us, and they filmed the tour. And I'm sure there was we had talking head moments where we spoke about the experience and this and that. I don't know. It wasn't in depth in that way, but it was that really. And they did do that. Yeah. But it's so funny because it was so early on, you know what I mean? But it was still fascinating to people. People are fascinated that you're real. You're really you've known each other for this long, and it just that really fascinates people.
Yeah, it's
so
a rare situation.
give them a peek into that kind of thing.
It's cool that it was like you guys' idea and then you went and pitched it. It's not like you got casted to be on a show and you guys met on it and had to become friends and learn each other. Yeah. Like the fact that you guys came up, it's like your brainchild that you were able to put to life. It's so cool.
I think that is more responsible for the success of the show than the conceit of the show.
Right.
I think without that, look, they made 30 international versions and none of them lasted more than a couple of seasons because they manufactured.
They don't have that vibe.
Yeah. So
have you guys done a season international?
We do travel episodes. So I've done a London episode,
cool,
a Caribbean episode, a Texas episode, a cruise episode, a New Orleans, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Were you guys pulling these kind of pranks though as students at your school?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
No pranks. No. I mean, not anything. I mean, your normal high school, stuff, but we weren't like those guys. No, it just was the conceit of for the idea for the show. We were together as a comedy troupe at that point for 12 years, and we had other pilots. We had single camera scripts, and we shot a pilot for Spike TV, which you probably guys don't know what that is.
Of course,
of course we know Spike TV.
Oh, is that still out?
Yeah. Well, we're familiar with it. We were born in 92.
It'd be right next to VH1 and MTV on the TV guide on the
Extreme Elimination Show. The Man Show.
But that's all we watched back then. We'd go up to Disney Channel Nickelodeon and then we'd go down to
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
So we knew Spike.
Spike TV.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, when they offered, so did Fox at that time. And we thought we had a higher chance to get on air with Spike, because Fox is such a behemoth, and they have so many big stars and so much budget, and they're probably producing a lot more content. Yeah. So we felt like we would go to a smaller pond. So we just gambled, and we shot that for Spike. They passed, and then we made another one that was really good, and it got into a bunch of festivals, but nothing. And then the thing that, and excuse me if I'm extrapolating too much.
No, don't worry.
You're good. No.
I'm kind of, you asked me one thing, and I'm like on 10 things.
No,
later.
please.
So my friend's wife says to us one time, or then girlfriend just says, "Hey, I saw something online where they're looking for people to upload sketch comedy, and it's a competition. You can win $1,000." So we were like, "Oh, cool!" So I went and looked, and the idea was they give you a topic, and then sketch comedy troupes across the country had it 1 week to film based on that topic, and then they would all be uploaded, and then the internet votes each week.
Oh, I feel like I remember seeing something like that.
It was called It's Your Show TV, but it was on NBC, and the full intent was to make it into a studio show, like a glossy, like Deal or No Deal studio, and Carson Daly was the host. And what they were doing was, this was their cheap way to find talent.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So because they had they just got flooded with,
But why do I feel like they would take all those ideas and just store them for like a later day?
That happens
probably
a
did.
lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did happen.
That's crazy. And
yeah.
you're signing something which
Damn,
says that like
you get like super
whatever.
talented people, and then every other skit was just like banging.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well, MTV actually stole from us directly.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Call them out.
I don't know.
Did we take them to court?
Anyone there now? No, this is a long time ago. No, but
We'll riot.
So when I looked at the categories, I had noticed that there was like, I think it was superhero, whatever it was. I had already filmed a short film that was like 6 minutes that fit the category. So I just uploaded it, and I'm like, let's see what happens. And we won that week, won $1,000.
Oh my
and we're like,
gosh.
what? $1,000?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, we had another short film that fit, and we put it in, and we won again. And then we're like, oh, fuck this. Then we're like, let's just start doing these every week.
Yeah.
New.
This is a full-time job now at this point.
No, really. I mean, like, what we, and so we.
Is this over dial-up? Like, are you guys
How long
just,
did
like-
it take you guys to do these? To film these?
Yeah, we'll probably sit down and have writing sessions for a couple of days, and then shoot everything out, and then edit everything. But it had to be done in that week. So we were all like laser focused on it.
Yeah,
because $1,000. It's just insane.
$1,000 a week. If it was
Split how many ways though?
4 ways, but I mean, you account for inflation.
Yeah.
Like this is not. That
was a lot.
Yeah, so this was 1997. Like
$1,000 in 1997. They were giving out just the
to every time you won, and and then they started putting up more than one topic a week. So we started submitting 2 videos a week, and
Is this online, or are you like sending in a VHS tape in the mail?
100%. Oh, that's a good question.
Snail mail, like
No.
a floppy disk, like
It was uploading.
it was uploaded.
Yeah, it was
A carrier pigeon.
Well, that's ahead of its time. Hope it gets there,
little buddy.
Like on a horse.
You just had to just let go and let God at that point.
a telegram, sir. They get paged.
no, like, dude, the amount of good ideas they were getting in and just banking. I can't stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It should be illegal.
But you know what? I'm here because of that.
It worked out great for you. I'm
Worked good for me.
I'm thinking about that poor kid that won
The other
second place.
10,000 people, it didn't work out
His
for.
idea's just on the brand new show. And he's like, wait.
After we won 11 times, they then announced that, okay, the show is going to be produced now. And Carson was the host. And they took the best 5 from all the talent. So we were one of the 5.
Ooh. Wow.
So we would go head to head with these guys in an episode. So now, they wouldn't show the time lapse but in the episode they would say this 2 week's topic was this. These guys had 7 days, and let's now watch their, live studio audience. Let's watch, and then the studio audience votes. It's almost like a
so cool.
Yeah, and they were going to give away $100,000.
Wow.
To the winner.
It was go time.
And this wasn't even supposed to be. Check
Who
this
won?
out. This wasn't even supposed. This wasn't even supposed to be once. This was going to be a series, and they were going to give that away every episode.
Whoa.
If
That's
you
insane.
back then, it was like, I think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was out, and
This is the
it was like
original
that
Mr.
new
Beast.
model of like, no, we're going to this is attracting people,
Money,
so
money,
money is
money.
and so the thing, I forget what the theme was, but I know what our sketch was. Our sketch was it was called Time Thugs, and it was you could hire these basically hitmen, rough them up type of guys, like to go back in time and beat the shit out of your bully.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like an infomercial for these two thugs, and then like and they time travel back, and then you go back, and it was funny because they were beating the shit out of children in it. You know what I mean? Like all the sound effects. It was just like the physicality of it. But we won.
You won the 100,000.
We won, but then they didn't pick the show up, so they only made that one episode. But didn't matter. Legally, they had to pay us, and so we won $100,000.
That's amazing.
You watching like the TV with friends and family, like for this reveal.
I remember when I got the call. I was outside. I was on the street outside my house, and James Murray called me, and he was like, basically, imagine the happiest voice you could possibly muster, like a trembling voice. Like I think he was like, I think we were almost like we're crying out of joy a little too. And he just said it to me, and I was like, I couldn't even comprehend it. First of all, to win that amount of money, but for something that we did, there's a validation there. But also, like, I don't have any money. I had no money. Right. Now I have $25,000. I just couldn't. I was like, you know, the relief it takes off your chest. Right. And at this point, I'm 20 years old. And so like, and I'm, you know, so it's like, oh my God, I finally have something that can give me a little security. Yeah. Wow. You know, it just was mind, it was just life-changing at that moment to me. Mm-hmm. And then we met, so the producers on that show came to us and said, we want to do a project with you. And so we pitched that show to Spike with the producers from the NBC show. Yeah. And we didn't have a great experience with them. And we kind of like went our separate ways after it. But their agent offered to be our agent from that connection and from that experience. So all of a sudden we had an agent at a boutique, and then he left and went to CAA. Now all of a sudden we made these internet videos, and within 6 months or whatever, we are meeting and pitching ideas, and then we get picked up. It was just insane.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. Exhilarating.
Yeah, what a good story.
Just to keep climbing, you're like,
just the back to back progression.
And then you put that money into the bar, and then
pretty much, pretty much. But it was just like. Sorry, my ADHD is going today.
Yeah, that's all good. Don't worry.
But ours is too.
Yeah, do you guys have ADHD?
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Heavily medicated.
Me and this girl
are
heavily medicated.
Are you medicated?
I wish.
No,
I'm too scared to take pills.
Before we continue, we want to give a big thank you to our next sponsor of this podcast, SeatGeek.
Guys, you all have used our code so much that SeatGeek wanted to hook you up with a new special offer.
That's right, baby. Now everyone can use our new code UNFILTERED10 for 10% off any tickets on SeatGeek, whether you're a new customer or not.
That's huge, baby. And what's also huge is that concert season is back. Artists like Drake, Nicki Minaj, Hozier, and Bad Bunny are all on tour, and you already know that SeatGeek is the best place to get tickets.
That's right. And no matter how many times you've bought tickets using SeatGeek before, Unfiltered 10 is going to get you 10% off your next order no matter what.
So guys, right now, if you're thinking about going to a concert, festival, literally anything, take out your phone, open the SeatGeek app, and add code UNFILTERED10 to your account. What are you waiting for, baby? Do it now, because this offer is only available for a limited time.
That's right, baby. You got to strike while it's hot. Code UNFILTERED10 for 10% off on SeatGeek.
Exactly. For whatever tickets you want, for whatever concerts, shows, anything like that. Code UNFILTERED10 for 10% off on SeatGeek.
Thank you so much, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this podcast. We love you.
One of the other big things was that YouTube and MySpace were the things.
Yes.
And there wasn't a lot of fresh content. And so we made an account on both, and then we just started uploading 2 videos a week consistently for weeks. And I think all told, we did 32 videos.
Oh my God.
And so we won 11 times. But all of a sudden, within 3 months, we have a page that has 32 produced sketches on it, and so they would feature us on the homepage.
You could post MySpace videos.
Yeah. So they had comedian accounts, and they ranked them by engagement.
Dane Cook was always like at the top of
I just remember
until
like
we knocked him out. we became the number one on MySpace out of 23,000 comedians.
What was it called? Was
crazy.
It Impractical Joker? Or wait, what was the?
No, this was just when we were the Tenderloin. This is before
the Tenderloin.
Before the show. Yeah. This is what led us, to being able to do it. Yeah, and it was like, and we stayed there because they kept putting us on the homepage.
I bet if I look back at some Tenderloin sketches,
I'm a MySpace slut. I don't get how I didn't see. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I was a MySpace fanatic. I was like,
Tila.
He was the emo kid. And you see like the real emo. I was in that world on MySpace. That's all I did.
Wow.
I guess I never clicked the homepage.
You weren't there for comedy. You were there for like God,
just to express yourself. Yeah. Just expressing your emotional side.
Yeah. So that's like that. And so in tandem, we were getting all these views and getting every comedian that's a comedian is on there. And so they're like, who the fuck are these guys? Who are these guys? Like the top 20 was like the biggest comedians in the world.
Yeah.
And so they were like, who the hell are these people? And it was cause of engagement. And because we kept pumping out that content, they kept featuring us, and so we were able to glean more, whatever it was, followers, whatever, than anyone else, and we kept it going because we kept up that pace, and that made everyone know at least the name of who we were, and then that's it. We had a stop me if you. This is
fascinating.
No,
are you kidding?
This is everything right
now.
now.
So cool.
So we got the agent from there, and they would set up general meetings. You know, the general meeting is basically you're not necessarily going to pitch something specific. You're going to meet the people at this network and meet the people at this network, say hello, get a vibe, talk about something, just see if maybe there's anything there, or they keep you in mind. It's a hand job meeting, right? Nothing ever really comes of them, and we didn't want to do that. And so we're like, well, if we go with pitches, they'll listen to pitches, right?
Yeah.
And so we were getting these general meetings, and we had a week's worth of meetings, maybe like 6 networks or whatever it was. And it was like not even 5 days before those began. And we didn't have any ideas. And we went to lunch, and we thought of 3 ideas at one lunch, and one of them was Impractical Jokers. And we went the next night, only the 4 of us, with our cell phone cameras, into New York, into Times Square, and we recorded like 5 different bits.
Okay.
And just with our own cell phones, and we cut it together, made our own sizzle, and then 2 days later, walked in with a sizzle of a thing that wasn't even conceived.
Wow.
Do you have that sizzle? Do you have that?
Yes, we have it somewhere, yeah. Because we used to show it at one of the live shows, so I know we have it.
Oh,
wow.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Oh, wait, what year was this?
2010.
I know on the show, like, you guys get scared always when you're doing bits, but like, how do you push through and do it that much all the time? Like, were you always like Joker, like pranksters in it, like as kids, or
No, improvisers.
Mm-hmm.
Improvisers.
Got it.
That's where it's coming from.
It's
Improvisers,
so hard
sketch,
to do
comedy
something
mind,
in
like
public.
writing jokes all the time, writing sketches, doing improv, like that's where we flourished. That's how we got the idea. We said, how can we showcase our friendship and our skill set?
Yeah.
So we got to play ourselves, and we got to be able to improvise, and we backed in from that.
What makes it so good is the improv background, because you guys are so good at knowing what would get a reaction from somebody, like what to say, to tell somebody to say, what to do. And it's just like everybody being on that same comedic like wavelength is what makes it.
And I feel like having anxiety makes it even funnier.
Yeah, like putting yourself in a situation, putting yourself in that situation and feeling uncomfortable makes it even funnier too.
Do you guys like rehearse what you think the moments may become? I don't know, just like, okay, I know that this is the bit, but just roll with me in like they're improvising just as if they were a stranger,
like normal,
just for you to get your sea legs going, to be like, to get some banter out. I'm not saying like you have lines already in your back pocket,
wonderful
but
question.
just to
so it's really hard to write what you think any permutations would be, but we do it. We do it often, and I'll explain. I know when a bit. We know when a bit is going to work. And so, at this point, we've done, almost 300 episodes, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we know, this is going to resonate. This is a home run, a layup, or all right, this is good enough, So we know that right away. Now, in the whole pitching process, like everybody writes, and then we all get together, and then they pitch us. So they'll send us a packet of ideas. Yeah. I'll go and I'll note everything, and then we'll usually have like a pitch meeting, and this is ongoing. Because we don't write everything before we begin filming. Yeah, we're like 5 weeks prior.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I'm writing something, like we're thinking of something right now that we'll probably film in about a month, and so we're writing the whole season. Wow. It's not like you write an episode and you're done with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the pitch process, a lot of times, especially now, we want to evolve the show. We've done so much. We don't want to tread the same water all the time. So we're always like trying to push through and figure out different ways, different angles, different games, different. You know, a lot of people, because it's the easiest way to do it, when they describe the show to someone, they say it's these friends and they have an earpiece and they have to do and say what they tell them. Because it's the easiest way to get people to understand. But in reality, that's like not maybe a third of our show.
Yeah.
We there's like, no joke, like 100 other different things that we do.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But I get it, you know. But so in that process, if I like, remember, it's 3 of us. And so if we disagree, you know, it's comedy by a committee here, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes if I really believe in something, they'll give me it and vice versa. But sometimes we're just not on the same page. Sometimes we are great. We all love it great. We all hate it great. But when we're not, then that has to open up this conversation. And let me tell you why I don't think it's going to work. Let me tell you the issues I have with it. And then, you know, but this is actually the part, to tell you the truth, that one of the parts I love the absolute most. It's the puzzle. There's nothing better than feeling like you solved an issue. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, we have something here. Now the challenge is to get and make it something.
Yeah.
And like all the back and forth and the debating and everything, that's my space. That's where I live.
Yeah.
No pun, my space. I overthink, you know, but it's a blessing and a curse. And I'm the one that won't approve the most stuff, you know, because I want to.
You won't approve the most.
I'm the hardest, and they're always like, oh, fuck, he's not gonna, you know, like they're always like this. And it's just I just have for my own filter. It's not that if I think something's not funny, it's not funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everyone, but for my own filter on my own island, I have really high my own standards of what I think it is. You know what I mean? You know, it's got my name on it. You know what I mean? Like I make this show.
Yeah, you need to be picky. Yeah.
Also, it's not. I want it to be the best it can be. This is the goal.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
wanna
also
half-ass it.
learning and striving to become better myself. And so the nuts and bolts of that part is what really gives you more writing chops and acting chops. You're turning over no stone. So I will say, like, pitch me, and they'll pitch me, and I'll go, okay, this is what you said that to me, I would say this. Like, they're going to say either this or this. So it's not going to work. All right. Well, then tell me how you're going to get them to go this route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if not, okay, maybe you get one more, but then it's going to shut down right here. We have to toe a line of believability, credibility.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times you want a whole mixed bag. So sometimes we're just like, this is a batshit one. We don't care. You know what I mean? Like if they suspect something and start laughing, everybody's having fun. Everybody's on the joke.
Yeah.
You know, there's those versions, and then there's the versions that I love the most, which is it's meticulous and it's a dance and it's like a high wire walk when you have a vision and you are trying to get it to play out, improvise with someone that doesn't know what's happening and where you think you could take it to, and if that gets achieved, you know what I mean? So it's just like this puzzle on these things. And even if it ends up like we kill it because I don't like it, you still glean something from that process every time. And that's what I love about comedy. That's what I love about writing my own jokes. I sit there and do that myself, but I have to do it with them. But it's just we'll just challenge each other and
It sounds like a blast. It just sounds like so much
if
fun.
you like that sort of thing, it's a dream job. My writing staff who have been with me now for many, many, many years, we always say that if you're a comedic writer, it's like the best job you could possibly have because we have no limitations. It's not one character, one joke, whatever. We're in hundreds of scenarios and different moments and levels of the sky is the limit for the kind of jokes you can write. It's not one thing. And so that's like, all I want to do is write jokes. It's just we want to be a joke machine. But it's always so different that it stays exciting to write for. You know what I mean?
How long were you writing for to come up with your full set for your new special?
Sure, I have jokes in there that go back about 8 years, and the newest one was when I taped it was about 4 months old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you sit down and write with your jokes like pen and paper? Front of a computer, just iPhone notes and just work from that, or
So I have notebooks, handwritten notebooks, and then notes in my thing hundreds of pages because I tell you I just write down something. I might forget about it. I always just go to it as a resource. Maybe it'll inspire something. Maybe it won't. Some things are more fully baked than other ideas. Something like this is something here. And so when it's time for me to write new material, I will go through that because I'm always adding to it. And the thing that just is resonating the most at that time will probably theoretically be the thing that will be easier for me to write because I'm excited about it. Or if I think of something happens to me or I'm telling a story, I really like that. And I'll tell you why, because I don't have to remember that because it happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm personal. I could tell a funny story right away. Like I'm going to refine it and write clever jokes in there, but I could tell a very amusing story if it was amusing.
Yeah.
And so I can then have the liberty to get on stage with something that is fairly new. And I know because I experienced it, tell it funny, and then write out on stage like that. When I'm having observational things, which I try to mix them both in, I will write down like bullet points, ideas, and I'll know where I want it to begin, get in the middle, and the end. And I'll make sure I have that funny and that done, and then I'll just keep connecting the dots every time I get on stage.
Now that you have one out, are you excited to like come out with another one even sooner? Like, are you
exercise stuff?
Yeah, are you thinking about like writing new jokes just for your next one because you got one out finally already?
I'm so excited because it's some of those jokes I was 8 years.
Yeah.
Not that they're the same. I would jump off a bridge if they were the same.
Yeah,
but they just expand. Like a joke's never done.
Yeah.
If I wanted to keep working on a joke for 20 years, it's going to keep evolving. You just have to know this is ready to be shown to people. It's there, and sometimes we'll do it and I can't do that anymore, but maybe I'm in a place where like, I don't know, I know they didn't see it. And then I'll do it and it's better than it was because I added to it. Like that happened in this special. Like I shot it in December. And so a lot of times on stage, I was like, when I knew I had it, the last show, I was like, I'm going to let this fly. I'm not going to say anything the same. I'm going to be completely in the moment. If it works, if it doesn't. And like 10 of those moments are in this special. I've never said the joke before being in this special, you know what I mean? And so then it's like, oh man, because when you add something and it gets a laugh, it's like high.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, I'll never get to say those jokes again. So in between filming it and it coming out, I had 5 months. So wherever I was these last 5 months, I would like sometimes add a bunch of tags to those jokes just so I can be more excited about them. But I've been writing. My new tour is on sale right now. When it came out the same day as the special, so it's called Everything's Fine.
I love that.
Terrified,
that
and then everything's
great.
fine.
And it's at salvulcanocomedy.com, and we have 30 cities up right now, but that's just the first leg. I'm gonna do like 100 cities.
Are we doing Los Angeles?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll be there.
Yeah, I would love
100%.
Is your wife a good audience member? Does she think you're funny? Are you ever in bed with your phone going, babe, what about this?
Yeah.
And is she like, okay, yeah, that works.
All the time.
And your daughter, does she think daddy's funny? Like, yeah, she's your best
She's the
audience?
funniest person I've ever met in my entire life, effortlessly. But our entire relationship is. All I want to do is make her laugh. Yeah. And that's from like when I saw her pop out to yesterday. You know what I mean? And so that's what she knows. That's her universe is me trying to make her laugh. And she's now about to be 22 months, and she has her own personality, and she is developing into her own person. And when I tell you, no joke, she is a fucking comedian. All she wants to do is make people laugh, and she understands. I do it so much that she gets comedy. Like if someone reacts, she follows it. She doubles down on it. To new people, she and I don't mean just like making a face and running. Like she got
her
jokes.
timing, she's got it. Yeah.
I'm sure that it makes her eyes light up. Like you're now in your head, like she's gonna
That's
be a
your little
comedian.
mini me.
She's gonna be a comedian.
Oh my God,
too.
light up! If I tell you guys how
amazing.
much I cry, it's just overjoyed. Like you can't hold it in.
Yeah.
This girl, I cry every day. I don't know if any of you have kids.
I
wasn't.
We know we're gonna be like that though. We're emotional.
Oh, you will.
About
Yeah.
everything.
Our cat makes us cry. We'll just be like, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be so bad.
Are you scared of cats?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like them. You can't trust them. And
What's your most like irrational fear that you're like embarrassed to talk about?
yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's
Perfect.
Points. I have an OCD, and I have it in at least one way, and that way is crazy. I don't like anything pointed at near my eyes. So if we were like eating and if you put this right here and we were talking, I would. It's annoying because I don't ever want to make it about me, but I can't turn this without you thinking I'm a lunatic. So I have to say, if you don't mind, I don't even want to get into it. I just have OCD. Can I do this?
Are you worried about getting
get that.
poked? in the eye?
Yeah, something. I get overstimulation. I
can
ADHD.
Feel that straw like on my ear right now.
Yes,
I know exactly how you feel, and now I need that cup over there. That's pointing this way.
So you know.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
You got to even it out.
Like
forever.
now I'm a little.
So how do you?
I'll do it. I'll save it. Like, no joke.
I need like.
How do you feel about cameras then? Because cameras, I feel like they're pointing at you now.
No. It's not something facing my direction. It's something that's pointing at me.
Phallic.
Yeah.
Like
no, this corner. So some days are worse than others. Some days it doesn't even cross my purview.
Yeah.
And so I don't think about it. And then some days if I am heightened or sensitive that day, everything bothers me. And those leaves behind you right there would bother me, especially if I'm close up. But if I was really at it, it would bother me. And then I can't really say anything. And you know when it manifests itself a lot? When I'm in a situation like this, maybe I'm on late night television or I'm in a job interview or whatever, and I get this heightened sensitivity. And so I'm sitting there trying not to show that.
Yeah.
And I am skin crawling inside. Like I'm balling my feet and like going like this and like blinking. It just makes me very tense. And you can't explain it. It's irrational, but it makes me anxious and tense. And
you can't say it in the moment too, because it sounds crazy.
My friends and family.
Yeah, I never. The only person I try to explain myself to is him, and he's just like, "Do what you got to do."
Yeah. That sucks. So that like in that moment, you wish you could just like out loud just say it and it just be taken.
Yeah.
Like
it
doesn't make sense.
Go to a hypnotist and see if I can do that.
Hey.
Try to break it.
It can be like at times. It can be. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
This is my whole life. There's been times where I was laying in my little studio bedroom apartment and it was like in overdrive, and in order to go to sleep, I had to get up and cover every single point that was facing me with a sheet. So I basically erased it. So like if this was bothering me and I didn't want to like to have that and I didn't want to tell you guys, I would do that.
Just muffle it.
And now I don't have a point facing at me anymore, and it literally dissipates.
I guess.
Is it just like it seems brighter to you when
I have
it's like
light
pointing?
sensitivity,
Okay.
but it's also like my eyes are just hypersensitive. And so when I am going an ADHD or when I am, stressed or anxious, everything gets heightened and like my eyes get so sensitive. But my sis doesn't hurt that my sister hit me in the face, in the eyeball with a Malibu Ken doll when we were younger.
Okay, well that could probably do it.
You see there's a red scar right here, a red dot.
Yeah.
4th grade Malibu Ken. Right in my face.
Way to go, Ken.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what did it, but it didn't help. I still have that, so it's like, but so maybe, I don't know. And I remember the feeling and maybe that's what it came from. Maybe it did. Maybe it's just an OCD tick. I don't know.
You see a therapist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Often, every week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Say, how long have you been seeing that one?
One right now, I've been seeing like over a year, and one maybe a couple. I see 2.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
To work on 2 different things? Okay, yeah.
I focus on my life and childhood in one, and then the other one I focus on the ADHD and the OCD.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's healthy.
Is it helping? Is it helping?
Yeah, it's whether you understand if it's helping or not, it's helping.
Okay,
and I have breakthroughs, and I also have stagnant times. But I would recommend it to anyone. I think everyone should be in therapy.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're well adjusted, you're crazy if you don't think there's something you can't take away from that, and you're crazy if you don't think that you can improve yourself and learn more about yourself. It's like mental
learning.
Gym.
Yeah,
it
is.
Facts.
Yeah.
I love how like therapy or telling somebody to get therapy could be really nice and really mean. Get therapy, or
you should see a therapist.
Get therapist.
Yeah.
Do we have BetterHelp this week?
I think we do.
Perfect transition.
I could do that. I could do that one for you. Off the dome.
We probably do. I actually don't know. I need to look at
You have psoriasis too?
I have it because it doesn't
Yeah, let's
go
just
away.
point everything out.
Oh, you have
You got OCD?
I have
That's
psoriasis.
That's how'd you know that?
I think you talked about it on Whiskey Ginger with Andrew Santino.
I talk about it. Yeah.
I have psoriasis, but I have guttate, so it only happens if I get strep throat, and it happens for 6 months, and I'm on Humira, and that tones it down.
Okay.
So I don't have it right now, but if I get strep, I get it. But do you have chronic psoriasis? Your skin looks so clear.
No, so it came out of nowhere 20 years ago, and I had it for a few years. And I remember when I got diagnosed because I didn't even know what it was. And he goes, "Oh, you have psoriasis?" And I'm like, "Okay, so how do I get So what do I got to do?" And he's like, "I'll give you a medicine." I was like, "Okay, how long do I take it before it goes away?" He goes, "It doesn't go away." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's a lifelong thing. It'll come and go, flare and not your whole life." And I was looking at him and he goes, he said it so flippantly, and I thought it was like I was like, whoa, like this is
a huge thing you're telling me.
And he just looked at me like he was like, I know, it's probably a surprise. I'm like, yeah. And then it went away, after a year or whatever it was, and it didn't come back. So, but who knows?
Wow.
Does it come in patches?
I should talk lower because it can hear me.
Yeah, right.
Can hear, yeah. Patch, it would come just right here.
Mine are like raindrops, and it looks like I have syphilis. It takes over my body. It does. The doctor was like, "Have you been tested for syphilis?"
It's a stress thing though, right? You
get
it when you're
autoimmune disorder, and they don't know what causes it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, for me, once the strep goes away, my body still thinks that it's fighting something that's no longer there, and then that's where it goes.
It manifests itself to fight off.
Yes.
It's reproducing cells faster than it needs to, or something like that.
Yeah, it's working too hard.
We actually had a game we wanted to play with you real quick.
Oh yeah, please.
So one person in this room was just diagnosed with cancer yesterday. Can you guess which one?
I get why it's called Unfiltered. Oh my God, I can't do this because I'm guessing wrong, and then I'm not only am I neglecting the person that has it, but I'm positioning the other person to possibly get it.
One person was diagnosed with cancer. Who was it?
It's so terrible. It is literally horrible.
Well, I'm hoping it's like the good. I'm hoping it's like what cancer?
It's a good cancer.
The good cancer.
Yeah, because you guys. I would have never been able to tell by your energy.
It's Matt.
I got diagnosed with skin cancer,
but it's like very minor.
Basal cell carcinoma. I had a spot on my back, and I found out an hour before we recorded last episode, and that was a big.
But we've been talking about the whole time. We're like, imagine he comes in and we just bring it up first.
Just to get you worked up.
I'm like, don't do that to him. He's gonna be like, why are you putting me on the spot like this?
Can I tell you something? So my dad had it like 5 times.
5 times?
Yeah,
basal cell.
He was a sanitation guy, worked outside, never put on any block. And so all those years in the sun, and they had to go, and I always go with him. Yeah, he had it. They had to cut a little piece here, and but you can't really tell, but like he had to, and I remember like finding out and not really knowing what the scope of that was. So just the C word is like whatever.
Right.
But in my head, the first thing I hoped is when I said good, I was thinking skin.
Oh, good. I know.
But I wanted to keep it ambiguous still. And now that the cat is out of the bag, I can say to you, I was going to say Matt.
I don't know.
We played it out in our head. Like, the only thing we planned was that question, and we were just
giving skin cancer.
He's giving
melanoma.
Okay, all right, that's all.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
But Bud, thank you so much for coming on. This has been so
great.
This is so awesome.
Thank you. Really awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys are such kind, nice. You deserve all your success.
Thank you.
As to you as well. Make sure you guys check out Terrified on YouTube.
Yes. Also, Impractical Jokers is coming out very soon.
July 11th.
On TBS.
July 11th, TBS.
And also, buy tickets to the tour.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, my tour with them is through August. So I'm still touring with them. It's like the last 20 cities, and the tour is retired. And then my tour begins in September, but everything's on sale at salvulcanocomedy.com. So
okay, well, I know we'll be there. So we better see you guys there, too. Thank you, Sal.
Just reach out 2 or 3 times, and maybe I'll get back to you.
Yeah, thanks for being persistent on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, want to close it out?
Hi, Dad. You happy?
Finally.
Hi, Dad.
That's so funny. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We love you. Also, make sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Zane and Heath. We do a bonus episode every single month. We also keep these cameras rolling as an extended cut of the podcast. We also do a live Q&A every month. Again, patreon.com/Zane and Heath.
You can check out these episodes every Monday, audio form on all on the podcast platforms, and every Tuesday, video form, youtube.com/Zane and Heath.
All right. See you guys.
Ciao.
Love you.
Toodles.
Ciao.
Mwah. That was easy.
I trust him with my life.
Yeah.
He's so nice.
And it's crazy. Like
It's like my uncle.
He has so much anxiety. Like I think he's worse than me and you.
Yeah. Oh no. I
OCD,
feel like I felt it.
I look at him like he's amazing at what he does. Like I can't believe I can't even get through like an hour without being like.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really inspiring.
It really is. Like,
should we?
Should we test it?
Should we?
We frame the straw.
We clone him.
I like knowing that he like has like the OCD, like
he's very shy.
Yeah, very shy, and still is able to like be so successful and motivated, and still stand his ground on like what he.
It's so inspiring.
Why am I just the complete fucking opposite?
Crazy. Like it overpowers you.
Yeah.
When he has like the same amount of.
Yeah, I like it like. Yeah.
Sorry, what I miss?
We were just saying how he has so much anxiety and OCD.
The door.
And the way he can cover it up or power through it.
Yeah.
Like.
But then he seems like he's able to get so much work done too. On top of that is just amazing.
You know what question I wanted to ask, but like it would have been like too dark, but I just feel like he would have an interesting story is where he was on 9/11.
Oh, no, I don't think
he lives in Staten Island.
But yeah, right? But being that age though, in proximity to it, I don't know. I was just like,
is that like a? I feel like that's a very
being in proximity to it. But yeah, but it would have been like I just knew we were crunched for time, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna ask who knows because who knows how serious it is.
Before we let you go, I have a question.
Before you go, right after the cancer question.
If I had all the time in the world, I would have asked that. Just like, where were you on 9/11? Because I just think being talking to someone who was at that age, he was probably younger than us. It were like 2001.
Oh, definitely, because I was
early 20s probably for him. Like so. For those people that age living in proximity have such a vivid sense of it versus like, you know, our parents we were with.
What was your first thought as a kid seeing that? Were you scared? Were you confused?
Understand it.
I didn't really understand what was going on.
We were in the classrooms.
And we were all in a classroom because I watched it in the classroom. Yeah, it was on our TV. The news was on the TV. It was something
I don't remember them showing it to us, but I remember them pulling kids out of class because their parents worked in the city.
Especially New York. Yeah.
Well, I was in Pennsylvania.
Or Pennsylvania.
Their parents worked in the city.
I remember a kid at lunch saying a plane crashed into a building, but that was like, I thought that happened like weeks ago or months ago. It was some crazy lunchtime story. They never showed us. And then right when I got out of school, everybody's parents were there to pick up their kids. And I was like, is this a holiday? Like, why? My mom's picking.
In Texas?
Like, everyone was just, because everyone got off work. So everyone's parents were there. So normally that kind of day is like a half day or like a.
Oh, wait. All parents were off work when that happened?
Well, yeah. A lot of people got dismissed out of their office places, like, because it happened early in the morning or don't come in. Like, a lot of people just got off work. So everyone's parents were there picking them up. And I remember
they were scared because it was a terrorist attack. So they go, I just want to get my kids.
You just never know. It's the United States. You don't know.
They just, that was just the first time they saw it.
Because it wasn't just the Twin Towers. It was the Pentagon.
Yeah.
They didn't know if it was going to hit anywhere else.
So.
And my mom, I remember like walking to our car in the parking lot. And I was like, is this like a holiday? Like, why is everyone's parents here? Mm-hmm. Like, this is weird. And she goes, I'll tell you when we get home, but you're going to remember this day for the rest of your life. She said that to me.
Like, crazy.
And my dad was in the air when it happened. My dad was flying from Dallas to Chicago.
And
then in the air, the pilot said, this is the first time this has ever happened in my 30 years of being a pilot.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah. And he had to land in St. Louis, Missouri. And that's when like they had the phones and stuff. And she
being on a plane
Pentagon's
during
on fire.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember like it didn't click until I got home.
Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why they were showing it in class is because teachers, I think, wanted to watch it because it's not like they had phones to like watch like the news immediately.
I remember not knowing the severity of it because it's like you're a kid and you're like a plane just hit a building. It's like okay.
And you're like, there's people above that whole area and those people all like that was like, weird for my brain.
You don't know what a terrorist attack means.
I thought it was tourist. Like I was like,
yes.
I was like tourist.
I remember trying to put the pieces together. I never heard the word terrorist before.
Same.
And then I just remember being in chorus. Like it was my chorus class, and we just like sat there and then
a choir. Or what's chorus?
No, it's called chorus.
What did you do?
Chorus, like singing.
So singing. It's a singing class. Okay, chorus.
And then we would play like
choir. Are you sure it was
choir?
It wasn't choir.
So choir.
And we would like learn like the recorder and the Wiro.
Yeah.
You know,
we just called it music class. But yeah, it was different.
But they called it they called it chorus. That's why I was
Jordan, was yours called chorus too?
Oh, he's not sitting there.
He left. He left with Sal.
Was yours chorus?
When you said chorus, I immediately in my head was like chorus.
My cousins have a class called chorus, but it's dancing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. They do a whole performance. So our chorus performances.
A chorus line,
yeah. I wonder what the definition of chorus is.
A chorus is
like
group.
It's like a group.
It's like a groove.
A Greek chorus is like.
I said groove. Yeah, a groove.
It's like a groove.
I think I automatically.
It's an
think
ensemble.
Just singing.
It's an ensemble. It's the
Ensemble.
witnesses. It's the storytellers of a show.
Right.
It's the chorus. Like you're in the cast. The chorus. It's
Miss Greg's.
But do you think that is a little fucked up? Like I would have a problem. I'm glad they didn't show it to me. But if, as a parent, though, if there was a national terrorism attack, and I get if my kids were in middle school or high school if they wanted to bring it up and show it, but bringing in a TV to show a bunch of second graders, like a building burning, I would, as a parent, I'd be like, sorry, that's something I need to expose my kids to. You're showing that to my kid in a class saying that there's about to be all these people who are dying. You're showing it collapsing.
The thing is, I think it was just such a crazy moment where like just all the TVs were on and it's just like, guys, this is happening right now.
Y'all were on Eastern time zone. I was on Pacific though, so you guys were in a bit different time zones. You guys reacted to it different ways because by the time school started for me, it had already happened.
We were in class,
so you guys were already in school when it happened. Yeah, that's what it was.
No, they weren't. Yeah, sorry, they weren't replaying it. It was in the. It was,
and they were watching too because they were learning it for the first time with us.
Yeah,
they were like,
there must have been talks at our school going, we're not showing it. That has to be the reasoning.
You saw that clip of George Bush. Them telling him he was in a classroom full of students and them telling him that the attack is happening and he had to just keep it cool.
And then right before that, it was them learning to read with George Bush, and it was like plane.
And
crash,
he was learning to read too
building.
at the same time.
It was like that's funny.
Sorry.
No, but do you know what clip I'm talking about?
Where
they were like teaching them how to read. It was like plane, must, hit,
skyscraper.
It was like the words that they were learning.
Really?
In class.
Is that true?
Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Steal. What word?
What?
Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get
Shut
ready.
There's no way.
Must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Steal. Yes, steal. Get ready. Plane. Yes, plane. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Boys and girls, speak your
So that was the morning of it when he was in the class.
That's weird.
Why those 4 words?
Weird.
They were random words, especially
Plane,
for that.
kite, must, hit, steal. What?
We got 2 verbs and like one or like
I truly think it was a coincidence. Because it's the teacher.
Bush did 9/11.
But you don't like. No official was like, read these words to the kids today. That's like impossible. That's such a coincidence, but that's crazy.
It's steal, plane, hit,
must.
That's too random.
Let's interview that teacher.
Let's bring Bush on.
I have never seen that.
I've never seen that too.
Is that real?
Yes.
Because that's the same.
The video was right there, and it wasn't like voiceover.
It's the same video of the guy whispering in his ear that it happened.
But it could have happened like 30 minutes before.
Doesn't matter.
I know, yeah. That's just so weird. Steal, like
plane, hit, steal,
must.
Yeah, the must and kite kind of throw it off. But.
No, I think that makes it even weirder.
They're very random.
But what about kite?
Words.
What about the word kite?
Like when kids are learning in school, you learn the nouns together.
I just learn a theme, like
you
apples,
learn
cherries, pick, grow, seed. Like
you don't do adjectives with nouns, and like it's just too for that age. Too random.
Just arrest them all. Arrest them all.
The kids did 9/11.
The kids did it.
There are kids. There are probably our age out there who are like, yeah, I was in the room with Bush when he found out.
They would have been our age.
Interesting.
That was probably I was second grade. They looked second grade.
Where are they now? What are they doing now? And what do they think about it?
Now I want to get invited to the White House so bad now. We're like, I just want to find who's going to be president and donate them. But but get behind somebody before they get big, and it's like you invested in this politician, and that's actually the most dirty form of politics. And we shouldn't be giving.
I can see you working at the White House for like a month.
Oh,
on like an internship.
You should see the text I tell my brother where I'm just like, I want to be there so bad, but like be the worst employee.
What do you think you'd be good at doing? Like if you had one job at the White House?
I guess I think public relations and predicting how the public will, like our generation will react to things, and giving them like social media strategy, them showing me stuff and consulting on it, going, this looks way too contrite and not sincere. We need something that is. We
need more of those people for like.
Get us to the house. Invite us to the ball.
It's Mariah. I feel like me and you are good at that too. It's like they need to hire people like us to like really look at videos before putting it out. I wish like I want to work for a ton of people. I want to work for brands, important celebrities, politicians. I don't even need to know much about politics, but I can tell if a video does not look good to post online.
Remy would be really good at it too.
Remy, yeah.
I think and the reason why I'm getting so interested in it is because I'm about to turn 32 in a month. Knowing that like the world is going to be run by our generation, and that like that generation will die off. We are the adults now.
We are the world.
Sometimes I'm like, you're telling me there's people going to be my age being pilots, running all the air traffic control. Like,
I know, I still
all
can't
the
believe
surgeons are our age.
The other day, we were in the city, and I told my brother, hey, let me know when you're off from work. I'll just pick you up, and we'll like go somewhere. And he was like, cool. And he's 26, but I like don't. Like, it feels weird. I went to go pick him up, and he was sitting with everyone he was working with. They were waiting, and they were, like, having a beer outside this, like, bar and stuff, but they were all dressed in, like, their button-ups and stuff. And I was just confused. I'm like, these kids, to me, they're, like, kids, and they're in finance, and they're... what is he? An accountant? An accountant? What does he do? They're accountants, and they're all just sitting in a circle. And I just, like... I'm like, you guys are so young to be doing that. No, they're not.
They're adults. Late mid-20s.
I think our generation just looks really young.
Yeah.
Compared
Thank goodness we didn't have just lead in all of our food.
Yeah.
But I just hope that I have faith in the future.
You would think we would look older. Just like with all the shit that's in our foods now and everything, you would think that like.
Well, that's why we look so young, because we have like weird growth hormones that are like counteracting our shit. But
that's good for us then.
Okay, so since our episode was a little bit short with Sal, this is what a unwind looks like. We do these every single episode on Patreon. It's an extended cut. We crazy.
Smoking, we drinking, we fucking, we doing all crazy.
Sometimes it's better than the actual conversation.
No,
too.
It really is.
All the time it's better than the actual conversation.
We hit a whole new groove when we feel like we don't have to be so on for the YouTube.
Yeah.
We shoot the shit. It's very casual and natural. It's a really good time, and you just get that nice little fix, a good send-off from all the enjoyment that you've had on the YouTube. Yeah. It's worth every penny, and you get not only access to that, you get access to the Patreon episodes. All the times when we have been high out of our mind. Rambling and a-bambling all about this world. Yeah. It's a good time, and it's worth a penny.
Just because for some reason, it just feels better when you're talking not to the public. You know, just conversations are better. They're flowing better, and I don't feel like I'm saying something that's going to get me absolutely wrecked by the public. Yeah.
And how much is it, y'all?
$5 a month.
That's right. How much are you gonna be spending on that beer tonight? How much are you gonna be spending on that cappuccino at your local cafe? Just put it a little
$8.49.
Yeah, put a little mental note and go, you know what? It's just another cappuccino that you would be doing every week. Exactly. And this is another access of content. You know what you like. You've already been loving it.
And we're giving away Sal's
smoothie that he didn't finish drinking. And also
put up by the fireplace.
Also, he has a asphyxiation on the end of the straw.
You mean fixation?
Asphyxiation.
Does that mean you're choking?
Oh, so what does he have?
Just an OCD about.
Yeah, so this not only is this is his drink, but he has a asphyxiation to the straw.
You want me to take a sip of it?
No, Matt.
I got skin cancer. I showed it.
Matt, and you wonder why. No.
I would take it off and I would drink.
Right. No.
But all right, yeah, so that's an unwind. If you want to see more like that, go to patreon.com/Zane and Heath. Now we're actually going to jump into another additional unwind.
So if
you want to see the extended cut, again, patreon.com/Zane and Heath.
If you want to see like more of this, you know what I'm saying?
Zane, you lost your jiggle. It's just muscle now. It's just hip moving.
No,
there's no jiggle anymore.
It's all right. It's good.
Yo, try it.
Oh no.
No, Zane, it's just
ain't
stiff. You still got the hip.
You You lost the charm. All right.
His shirt saying damage
We love you
control
guys.
is so funny.
Say go get some BBL.
See you over there.
All right, we'll see you over at the Unwind public episode.
Out.
Peace and blessings.